So, something really interesting is happening in Bangladesh right now. A totally new kind of bank is starting to take shape, one that's mixing age-old financial principles with some seriously futuristic tech. Today, we're going to dive into what Islamic digital banking is all about and what it could mean for the future of our money. Okay, let me just start by asking you a question. What if your bank didn't have any physical branches? Like none at all. Imagine a bank that just lives on your phone. No more waiting in lines, no more mountains of paperwork. This isn't just a simple upgrade, It's a complete reimagining of what a bank can even be. And this slide right here really breaks it down for us. See, on one side, you've got the old school banks that are just, slapping a mobile app onto their ancient systems. But on the other side, that's where things get revolutionary. We're talking about a bank that was born digital. It's built from the ground up with AI and blockchain in its DNA. That's the real game changer. All right, so let's get into it. What does this new banking landscape actually look like on the ground in Bangladesh? And get this isn't just some far-off idea. It is happening as we speak. The Central Bank of Bangladesh is looking at 13 different applications for these new digital bank licenses, and one of them is specifically for an Islamic digital bank. So yeah, this is incredibly timely. So what does digital bank actually mean? While the official definition is pretty clear, the key phrases to focus on are fully branchless and end-to-end virtual. What that means is everything from opening your account to getting a loan happens online. And that could open the door to financial services for a whole lot of people who've been left out. And check this out. This chart shows you exactly why there's so much buzz. Look at the money required to even start one of these banks. For a traditional bank, you need 500 core taka. For a digital bank, it's 300 core. That's a massive difference, and it basically lowers the barrier to entry, letting new, innovative players get into the game. Okay, so why is this happening now? And why the big push, especially for Islamic banking? Well, it all boils down to one simple, powerful word: trust. Or maybe more accurately, a lack of it. I mean, this quote from our source material really says it all, doesn't it? The traditional system has been struggling with some serious issues for years, and that has, understandably, chipped away at public confidence. It's created a perfect opening for a new approach that promises to be more transparent. And when we dig into these criticisms, it gets pretty serious. We're talking about financing that isn't really backed by real assets, trades that only exist on paper, and a real lack of clarity about where your money is actually going. These are the deep, systemic problems that a digital bank is hoping to solve. But here's where things get really interesting. This is where modern tech meets ancient tradition to try and fix some of these very old problems. This is the big idea, the absolute core of it all. Instead of having people check paperwork after a transaction, what if the rules of Islamic finance were literally coded into the bank's software? Every single transaction gets verified automatically and logged on a digital ledger that can't be changed. That creates an audit trail that is just rock solid. So let's walk through how this would actually work. Say you want to finance a new laptop. You apply through the app. The system instantly verifies that the supplier is real and the laptop actually exists. It generates a digital contract and records the whole transaction, all in real time. This kind of automation makes it almost impossible to fake those paper-based trades. So what does this mean for you, the customer? Well, it's a total game changer. You get transparency like never before. You can literally track how your savings are being used. You can set up automated savings tools. You can even invest directly in things like sukuk, which are kind of like Islamic bonds, all from your phone. And it's not just about savings. The potential for including more people in the financial system is just massive. Think about it. AI could offer small loans to entrepreneurs who don't have traditional collateral. It could even bring the charitable practice of Card Hasan, those are interest-free benevolent loans, into the digital age. Okay, but let's pump the brakes a little. This all sounds amazing, right? But it's not going to be an easy road. There are some pretty big hurdles to clear before this vision becomes a reality. We're looking at a few major roadblocks here. First, the whole digital infrastructure in Bangladesh is still a work in progress. Second, this cutting-edge tech, things like blockchain, well, it's not cheap. And finally, you need a whole new kind of professional, someone who's an expert in both finance and technology. But, the biggest challenge of all might not be about money or infrastructure. It might just be about getting people to think differently. We're talking about a fundamental shift from reviewing stacks of paper to auditing complex algorithms. That's a huge change in mindset. And this table does a great job of showing just how huge that shift in thinking really is. Look, oversight goes from checking paper documents to auditing algorithms. The expertise required isn't just religious law anymore. You need to understand tech too. And the focus moves from the structure of a contract to things like data integrity and cyber ethics. And that brings us to a really important point about cybersecurity. In this world, it's not just a technical problem, it's an ethical one. The Islamic principle of amana is all about trust and protecting people's wealth. So having super strong digital security isn't just good practice, it's a religious and ethical duty. So, when you put it all together, the potential, the challenges, what's the bottom line? Can this new kind of banking really be for everyone? Can it actually democratize finance? Well, take a look at this number. This right here could be the key to the whole thing. Nearly 73% of people in Bangladesh already own a smartphone. The delivery mechanism for a digital bank, it's already in millions of people's pockets. And that's the sweet spot. That's the huge opportunity we're talking about. You've got this massive population that's mobile ready, but might not have access to a traditional bank. A digital bank could be the bridge that connects them to the formal financial system, maybe for the very first time. But, and this is a big but, just having the tech isn't enough. For this to really work, people have to know how to use these digital tools safely and effectively. Making sure everyone has a basic level of digital financial literacy, that is absolutely crucial. Which brings us right back to where we started. The technology exists, the need is clearly there, the potential is absolutely massive. But the ultimate question remains, can a system built on algorithms and code really restore something as fundamentally human as trust? That is the question that's going to define the future of banking, not just in Bangladesh, but all over the world.